Get the cake right to the sight sex. Leave the fire and the roof style stuff. I'm on the grind like we're chasing the stars. From Millmore to Dew Valley, we've come so far. Talk about legends, yeah, we know the score. Ronnie and Bobby, we remember you more. From the highs of the Wembley fight to losing our trousers, still we ignite. Red and white with the pride, we're never gonna bow. Fighting like middlemen, hear the roar now. We're middlemen, we stand up tall. Through ups and downs, we give it all. From Millmore to Dew Valley.
Good evening and welcome to Terrace Talk. I'm your host, King Bush, and there's just me and Bez tonight. How you doing, Bez?
Yeah, good, thanks. Obviously, a bit of positivity from the weekend. So, yeah, feeling good, thanks, Lee.
Yeah, and we're going to start with that. Obviously, on tonight's show, we've got a recap of the Sheffield United game. We're going to talk about Alex Bruce's interview. We're going to talk about Paul Davis's article today about players' wages. We're going to talk about Sam Nombe. Do we feel we've got a good fee for him? And we're going to come and talk about the upcoming friendlies that we've got coming ahead. Now, we will start with the Sheffield United game. So, obviously, as we said, obviously we lost the game, but there is a lot of positivity. I'm going to come to you, Bez, first, because obviously I put a video out there, so a lot of people know my views on the performance. But what were your thoughts on the game? Did you watch it? Did you go to the game?
Yeah, so a lot of my thoughts are probably very similar to yourself, Lee. Obviously, I saw your video, and as you know, I sent you like a message to say I thought how right you were. I actually watched the first half. I had my lad, and I took my lad actually to jump in Rotherham, and I was just there on the iPad watching it while he were, jumping around like a lunatic. And yeah, so I managed to watch the first half, and the second half, I was on my way home from jump. So. Yeah, as I said, similar to yourself, my only concern is we go into this season, and I think the bar is so low because we're expecting, Rotherham not to perform very well. They're not going into the season very organised because we've still got 10 players that we need to bring in, and there's only 2 weeks until the season starts. So I'm a little bit concerned that we've almost got no, we've got no, if you like. There's no way we don't think we're going to do very well, and because of that, it might look better than what it is, and that's my only concern. But apart from that, I agree with yourself. I thought Rotherham defended well. I know Sheffield United scored 2 goals. I mean, one of them was just a world-class goal. You can't really help that. It was just a good shot and a good strike by Callum O'Hare. But I thought they defended really well. And I have to say, what Alex Bruce said, and I'm going to come on to his interview later, I actually agreed with him. I think you can see what they're trying to do, and I said this all last season about Hanshaw. Defensively, I've always said it doesn't actually matter if you've got good defenders. Sometimes, as long as you've got people who are organised, they don't mind heading the ball, they're good in the air, and they can put a tackle in. I think you're fine. You don't need a Franz Beckenbauer at centre half. You don't need a Rio Ferdinand. You just need someone who's willing to put the body on line. And I think Rotherham did that. And I think you can see what they are trying to do. And I think that it's just going to get better and better from here. He's obviously got more. He's going to get more training with them for the next 2 or 3 weeks till season starts, and hopefully a few more bodies. So defensively, I thought they were excellent. I thought they struggled going forward. I didn't really. I know they had a couple of chances to hit the bar, didn't they, a couple of times from the lad Jellis, who we'll probably talk about later.
He was quality.
Yeah, he was good, yeah. But yeah, apart from that, going forward, we didn't look great. I mean, Fabio Tavares, he's that player who's like very quick and nifty, and I'm not sure he's a player who can play up front by himself, and he did in that first half. I think I actually see him more as a winger, because when I watched him at Emley, he were playing the left wing. So I think he was only up front on Saturday because we've got no one else. Obviously, Nombe's now gone. So I do think we are desperate for strikers. We have to get a striker in literally in the next 48 hours, in my opinion. We have to. So, yeah, all in all, I thought Rotherham did okay. It weren't an hammering. they need to improve going forward. But I thought defensively, they're definitely looking a lot better this time. This time last year, are a lot worse than this. So they've improved in the year. Obviously, lost Sheffield United 5-0, I think it was last season. So yeah, I'm actually relatively happy with what I saw on Saturday.
Yeah, so obviously I watched the full game, sat in the garden with the projector screen on and watched the full game. And I was pleasantly surprised. I don't know if I'd just built myself up that it was going to be absolutely terrible. And then looking back at it, I thought, yeah, I think the great thing is there was effort there, and you could see players that are playing and the new signings that they've got, which isn't many, all did well. I thought Jellis and Spence in the midfield, they absolutely run it. And I don't think you're going to get two better midfielders in League Two. For me, they will be up there with the top two midfielders in the league. But where you can always tell there's a lack of investment in as a squad is in the forward line, because that is where you can't fake it, if you get what I mean. You pay for what you get. You know, I'm going to go through the comments in a minute, but somebody put about Mullins signing. That'd be a cracking signing to play with a young lad. I think we need some experience up top, and we need somebody who knows where the net is, that's proven at this level, that scored goals. I thought Sheffield United were really poor. I'd be concerned if I was a Sheffield United fan. I thought they was really, really poor. I thought the fullback we had on trial, I thought he was awful. He looked like
the left back. You the left back, don't you?
Yeah, the left back. It looked like they just picked him out of the local park and said, "Here, do you fancy a game, kid?" But overall, like you said, I could see a pattern of play and what we was trying to do, and I never saw that under Matt Hamshaw. That was why I was so critical of him. I actually think he's got the respect of the players as well, and I think because he's got Agnew with him, I think that's a big plus, because players at this, especially at this level, are going to respect him. And obviously they'll probably respect Alex because his dad's Steve Bruce, and that's the way football snobbery works, isn't it? So obviously nobody really knew Matt Hamshaw, and I think the players just thought this guy's a muppet, because that's what I thought when. I'm being honest, mate. That's what I thought. That's what I thought when I first listened to him speak. I thought the guy is clueless. If I'm in that dressing room, I'm not respecting him. And I spoke to various players that played in the first team under Matt Hamshaw, and they said he absolutely didn't have a clue what he was talking about, and it showed on the pitch. And a lot of the players had to blame Matt Hamshaw, not the actual budget last season. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to run through some questions because we've got lots of questions in. So, Kaylee Wilson says, get Mullion in and a couple of strikers for with non-based money. More players needed.
Who will be number one?
How will we be number one? I'm not sure. Evening chaps, I was impressed with the performance on Saturday, considering the state we're in. That's from Bricktop. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Do you think, though, Lee, just on that, and you did say it though. Do you think though, because you went in to the game thinking we're going to be hopeless? Do you think? I know you did touch on it, but do you think that has had an impact? Like, if you watch that game, right, and you expect, you've said it before, you expect Rotherham to win in this league easy, right? So if you went in with that mentality, do you think that performance warrants what you thought about Rotherham in league or not?
I think, I honestly believe if we get 6 first team starters that are going to start, 6 players with Williams, a proven striker, I think we can walk League Two. I'm not going to lie to you. As bad a state as we are in, you only need to look at Cambridge last season. They brought a load of players in. They got promotion, and they didn't overspend either. There were a lot of free signings for Cambridge. The level we're at is very, very poor, and we need to remember that. I know we're all panicking because we're thinking, oh God, they're starting the other. But you look at the teams around us. Even Exeter, Taylor's come out today and said that there's no money there. So a lot of the teams in this division, I mean, York, they got promoted. They got rid of the manager the other day. Difference of opinion. Crazy decision. So there's a lot of teams that are not where they should be. You've got your team like Salford that are sort of spending, but they've spent before and not got anywhere because the foundations of that club ain't great. They haven't got a great following, so they play at home and it's not a massive advantage. Where I think when the Rotherham fans are with the team, there isn't going to be a more intimidating place to come to than the New York Stadium with the fans behind the team. Whether that happens, I do not know, because I think Tony Stewart and his board of directors are doing everything possible to take any sort of excitement for the season away from us. That's my view. Lee, why is Alex taking so long to sign players? I honestly don't think it's Alex Bruce, and I really hope the fans don't get on Alex Bruce's back. I know we've been here before, but how many times are we going to go? We're going to go after this manager. I went after Matt Amshaw because I could see he was out of his depth and I knew we were going to get relegated with him. However, I didn't go after Evans. I didn't go after Paul Warren. And Taylor, I didn't go after him really. So I just think, when do you stop and say the managers aren't the problem? It's what's going on behind the scenes that the problem at this football club. And anybody with half a brain can really see that. You still get the odd people on X with faceless profiles telling us that, you know, everything's fine in Tony Stewart we trust. I can show you the messages. It's insane. But I think most sane Rotherham United supporters now know that the issue is with the board of directors and it's nothing to do with, and we're going to go more onto that when we talk about Paul Davis's article. Good evening, Ben. Thanks for tuning in. Evening, gents, from Tom Swift. Johnny Talks, lads. Tom Swift, millions of miles behind, in my opinion, with players such as Martha, Agbear, Adibioga, who will likely break down and get injured when the weather turns. Yeah, that's a good point, because squad depth is just not there at all. Callum, I'm sick of talking about what's happened to the club. Yeah, but end of the day, we love Rotherham, don't we? So we're going to talk about it. Nicola says, I thought Joffrey and Jez were ace, and I noticed a lot less ball going back to the keeper. That's a great comment.
That's a great point, yeah.
Yeah, because I thought he looked quality. I know he was at Man United. He started off at Man United. He's had a couple of loans, but I think that'd be a real coup if we could get a Joffrey on. We can offer him a contract. So I think he would. I did think he was good.
I said this on Thursday into that. You know, we probably will get a lot of players that are linked to Man United, whether it's loans directly from them or if it's players who have been released recently, like youngsters. This is a prime example. And if you play for Man United young youth team, then you're going to be a good player. Man United don't just let anyone join their youth academy. You have to be the best of the best to join that team or that squad of players. So yeah, I agree with you. I thought that Al Jafri was excellent, and we should have got a contract straight in front of him. Literally,
and maybe we have. I think Brandon Williams as well. I thought he showed his quality. Some of the passes he was doing, you know, we weren't doing that in League One last season. I want to thank everybody as well, because we've got nearly 900 people watching us live, which is fantastic. And the comments are coming in. So I will try and read through every single comment. I do try my best to do that. I was very encouraged by the performance on Saturday, Ben. Yeah, evening, lads. I thought we played okay, but I'm sorry to say, but if Martha is a football, then I'm a Dutchman. He brings nothing to the team, loses the ball every time. Yeah, I think I tweeted out Gary as well. I think obviously he still needs to bulk up. He looks far too weak, and obviously, but they hadn't had him much. He's been at the World Cup, so I think my job would be now to get some meat on him and bulk him up a little bit, because I mean, he's got ability. I think he has got ability at some part of the game, but yeah, it's been a very underwhelming signing from us so far. I feel sorry for Alex Bruce. The communication upstream obviously is not there to know if he's getting non-bear money etc. Stuart is not putting any money in, and it's running on a shoestring. We are going to talk about Bruce's interview, but yeah, I felt sorry for him, to be fair, because he doesn't seem to be saying anything. Millers and Moore, no point doing pre-season nonsense, lads. Make no odds, all about the competitive. This is all about the shape and fitness. Read nothing into it. Well,
I disagree with that because I think you got to look at us here, and we've said this a few times where I went to the Harrogate game. Rotherham were trying to play some football. I can remember on the way home saying to my mate, "This is probably not going to work," because whenever someone comes into Rotherham and tries to play football, it hasn't worked, and they've always gone and been sacked quite quickly. That's what I'm sure I tried to do. They then played Accrington and Sheffield United and got absolutely hammered in both games. And that told us that we were going to struggle. So I think that you can sometimes look into pre-season, and it gives you an understanding of where the club are.
Any manager, any professional manager will tell you pre-season is probably more important than the season. It's where you gel the team. It's where you take the team away. Well, we don't, but where people form relationships and build bonds that last the season, and that's where you get your team spirit from. You don't take real notice of the results because you're trying things out, you try new formations, you're trying players that are on trial. Rotherham United try 7. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, but it is a nonsense if you want to start writing pre-season off. Results, I don't care about the results. We're talking about performances here, patterns of play. I could have told you from pre-season last season we were getting relegated, and it happened. And plenty of seasons where we've got pumped, and I thought I can see the style of play here, and we went on to have a good season. You can lose every game in pre-season and get promoted. Nobody's saying it's about the results. We're talking about building bonds and relationships with players. Deluded of Rotherham. So obviously we've either got a Doncaster fan, Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United, because they've all been at me all week at my videos. But listen, guys, you're on it here on a Monday night watching me, Sunshine. So keep it up, Sunshine. I think the majority of us expected some signings announced today. If we sold Nombe and still nothing on Monday. Yeah, we had the voice of reason on last week, and he was saying that there would be an influx of signings. I said I don't believe there would be, and I was proven right. And obviously with Paul Davis's article today, which we're going to go into, it looks like we're holding off till the contracts have finished. We are still nearly 15 players missing. Yeah, knock off Nigel, absolutely. And that's where it needs to sink in. We are 15 players short. If we have any sort of injuries or anything like that, we're going to virtually I mean, when is the West Brom game? Is it in 15 days' time? We play
Saturday. The West, week on Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah, so I hope we don't just go and sign the 7 trialists basically because they're already here, e.g. Jez Davis from non-league isn't the answer. Yeah, I'm not too bothered about signing. The only trialists I'd like us to sign would be Williams, of what I've seen so far.
And the Man U defender, the centre back as well.
Yeah, Rotherham boys, up the Millers. Yeah, Rotherham boys. Obviously, I have seen your message as well about coming and joining KB Terrace Talk. That is something we are looking to do as well. So I'll contact you back regarding that. Like I said, shape and fitness. Yeah, that's what it's about, mate. I'm not bothered. That's what we're saying. We're not bothered that we've lost the game.
But Tom didn't say that though. Tom said something like that pre-season nonsense is pointless, is what he said. You can't say it's pointless and then say it's about shape and fitness. It's got to be one or other.
Yeah. So, hey lads, just wondering if we can give Clark Harris a call now and get him back as we need a goal scorer. Well, Johnson Clark Harris has started following the podcast as well. So we got a random follower from him the other day, and I have spoken to him. So potentially he could be coming on. So that will be very interesting. So Johnson Clark Harris, we could be getting on the show very shortly. Also, hello, John. Hope you're well, mate. I hope your family's well, and everything's going well from you. Millers and Moore says, Bez.
Hello, Tom.
Harrison, make free agent goalkeeper.
Not sure that is Harrison. Is that
No.
Harrison? I don't know.
Bez, it's Tom, always contradicting himself. My daughter misses him. John's daughter was a big Johnson Clark Farris fan, and she was very upset when he got sold. So, interesting. Hopefully, would you take Johnson Clark Farris back in League Two? I would.
First of all, I'm just going to quickly check it. How old is it? Because I'm one of these who I don't like players when they probably turn 32, 33. I just don't like it. So if he's that old, let's have a look. So if he's that old, then I'm going to say no. Johnson Clark, he's 32, and he's just turned 32 to be fair. So I wouldn't take him because I just don't like old players. So I wouldn't take him now.
Okay. Bez literally said that in my comment, mate, for Millers and Moore.
I don't know what
a backup. No, I wouldn't bring him back. He was bad last time. Yeah, he was, but that's last time.
Did you say you would bring him back, Lee? Sorry, did you say you would?
At this stage, mate, I'd take any striker. To be honest,
that's true,
striker. He's proven at League One. He's proven that he can score goals in League One. League Two is terrible. So I think in a decent team in League Two, he'd bag an apple, to be honest with you. So I personally, Johnson Clark Harris is born idle. Yeah, everyone's opinion. I think he's a decent player, a decent goal scorer. Maybe his legs
it obviously also depends on what formation we play, because I think that point there, what Cal, I don't think if we played a one striker formation, Clark Harris, I don't think can play up front by himself. He needs another player alongside with him. I personally think, anyway.
Yeah. So we're going to go on to Alex Bruce. So we're going to talk about his after-match interview, and this kind of put a dampener on the actual day for me, because I thought we were going to get a positive manager talking about how well we'd kind of played and against good opposition. And he kind of said that he's not sure whether he's going to get any players in the next week or so. He's not sure if he's going to get the Somnombe money. And then he also went on to say, knowing him, he is going to try and pester for it, but he's had no contact from the powers that be, which is very worrying, sort of a week and a half away from the season, don't you think, Bez? What did you get to hear that interview?
I did, yeah. And first of all, he did the first half of the interview, or the first couple of minutes, he does talk about the game, and he does say that he thought the game was impressive from a Rotherham point of view. He said he felt you could see what we were trying to do, and we've kind of backed that up by saying the same. So for the first couple of minutes, he did talk about the game, which was positive. But the problem is, for the last 5 minutes or whatever it were, he did go on and talk about the recruitment saga. And look, us fans, really, we're probably not interested in what his views are regarding a friendly against Sheffield United, because we can see the game ourselves. It's not a competitive fixture as such. So any chance a local media gets to interview, they're going to go into and ask questions about the transfer market and the transfer recruitment. They're going to do that. It's just normal. And I felt that he was just being honest. Sometimes as a manager, you've almost got to give yourself an excuse, because let's say that in 3 months' time he's struggling and Rotherham is struggling and he ends up getting sacked. He can almost go back to this interview and say, look, I was saying there and then that I needed these players, but I wasn't getting the backing from my chairman. Now, it's a dangerous thing to do, because you're almost annoying your manager, the person who offers you a contract. So it is dangerous, but I do get why he's trying to do it. I feel he's just being honest. and he genuinely believes that that's what he's been told.
I do like his honesty, and I really do. I like the way he talks about football. I'm drawn to listening to him. Like, remember, we used to say, I can't listen to I'm sure, I don't want to hear him. But this guy, I do want to listen to him. I do want to hear what he's got to say, because he seems to know what he's talking about, and you do kind of want to listen to him. John says, Bruce is being held back. It's so sad. Gary Lilly says, Tom Ince has signed for Tranmere today. Why didn't we go for him? Probably can't afford him, mate. That's the sad reality of it. We're not going to, I don't think we're going to sign players like that, unfortunately. He looked like he was under major pressure on his interview. Yeah, I mean, he is under major pressure. The problem with Alex Bruce is this is his first job. And if it goes wrong, he's probably not going to get another manager's job. Because I don't see Matt Amshaw ever being a football manager in the Football League ever again. Not in the Football League. He may go and manage Parkgate, something like that. But if this goes wrong and we get, say we got, we didn't have the season we expected and he loses his job, then that could be his management career over. So he is going to be under pressure because whether people like it or not, the expectation for this season has to be that we're challenging for promotion. There can't be any other scenario here. If Tony Stewart isn't giving him the funds to be able to go out and do that, then it's a travesty, in my view. Lee, do you think any players will come in? Yeah, I do think players. We've got to. I think we've got, is it 12 or 14 registered players at the minute? And some of them are youngsters. So, yeah, there's got to be players come in. I think there will be players come in, but I think from going on the interview today, they wait until the end of the month to get players in, which is going to have missed out on sort of targets. I'll be surprised. I really hope Williams does hang on and try and get that this week. Yeah, I think there will be some players come in this week. I honestly do. I could be wrong, though. Could you listen to Lee Clark? Yeah, I mean, I think Lee Clark did speak well. I think he's got a good football pedigree. I think he'll do well. Hartlepool is he at now? I think Lee Clark could be a decent manager at this level. I just think the shit show that he came into, nobody were going to succeed after Matt Amshaw with what he'd done with that squad. Were ridiculous. There were far too many players that were in wrong positions. That it was so unbalanced, that squad that he put together. There were no balance to it. There were no thought gone into it. It was just kind of selected 11 players you could afford and get them in. But I think Amshaw had a much better budget than what we're working with now. So, yeah. If Bruce was backed, we host League 2. Sadly, the chairman has clocked out. Who goes first, Bruce or McLaren? Let Baz answer that.
I'm actually someone who I don't think that McLaren will walk. I think he knows what he's in for. I think he knows the state of the club, and I think if he was going to walk, he'd have walked by now. So to answer that question, it will be Bruce who goes, because let's face it, managers generally get sacked. I think the average time a manager has now is literally 8, 9, 10 months. It's not a long time. So yeah, if I were to put a bet on that, if I were to put my mortgage on that, I'd say that Bruce would leave before.
But I think what's happened since Bruce has come in is the reason why we got turned down so many times. Most managers was unwilling to work with. You're going to have to sign these players. Wait till the end of July to sign majority of your targets, and you're going to lose your best striker. Most managers are going to say, I'm not having that. Obviously, he's a new manager, so Rotherham's kind of took a chance on him rather than him take a chance on us. Whereas a proven manager, which we were looking at previously, would have just looked at that and thought, I'm not having any of that. My hands are not going anywhere near that. Evening, lads. Season is very close. Scary stuff. Surely he took the job knowing the situation. Tony Stewart was honest with him before the appointment. Would you say that? I'm not sure, because I believe Neil Warnock agreed to sign, and then Tony Stewart went back on something. We've heard that managers, including Paul Warne, were promised players and then come back from an evening golf club. It had changed when it comes to Karen's spreadsheet.
Stephen Evans as well.
We've had Kenny Jackett, where he spent a few days, walked out. So do you think Tony Stewart is honest at the interviews? I'm not entirely sure. I wouldn't say he is, to be honest. Have we got any strikers? Friendly's barely scored. No, we haven't got any strikers. That is the big worry. What position will come in, Lee? What do you think? Well, we need at least 3 strikers. So
and the
we
left
need a striker.
We haven't got one left.
Got my ticket for the West Brom game. It could be a miserable day. Danny, look on the positive. We're expected to lose at West Brom. So anything other than a loss is a positive. And if they play well, it'll be a positive as well. So, and it is a good away day, West Brom. I've done it before with Rotherham. I think it were, I think Tom Pope played, and I can remember at that game away what I went to against West Brom. We've got one on the books, Nige. Not sure what that one is.
Referring back to knock off Nigel.
All right. Yeah. Has Reece James gone to Doncaster? He's on trial at Doncaster, I believe. I don't know if he's signed a contract there, though. Matt Amshaw will probably get into Sunday League, possibly. Reece James was on trial at Bradford. I didn't know that. Do you think Michael Crick will get sacked? Carrick? It will at some point. Not this season, I don't think. We should have over 2 million just in season tickets and some non-base sale on top. Yeah, absolutely. Dread to think who we'd have appointed as manager without McLaren. Yeah, that's a good question.
Not worth thinking about, Danny. Not worth thinking about at all.
Yeah. Tom Daly, McLaren can be the only positive. Brought in ex-Man United keeper coach, a manager from Salford with big United links, will probably attract players through the door. And that is a great comment from Tom Daly, to be fair. I think that's a fantastic comment. And I think we said it at the time. I'm buzzing with McLaren's appointment. I'm happy with Alex Bruce. I'm happy with Agnew. I'm happy with the goalkeeping coach. I think they will attract players and will probably get good links to Manchester United, which can only be good for a club Rotherham's size. A goalkeeper, yeah, I think we need a goalkeeper. I'm not convinced on Can. Midfield, I think the midfield's fairly strong, but there's no depth. Probably could do with 2 more sort of wingers and somebody that can maybe like a number 10 type role that can unlock defences. I think we need. Anyone know the latest on Denzel Hall? I think we could be lucky and keep Denzel Hall, you know. I mean, who's going to take the risk on him? He's had horrific injuries. Fantastic player. If we manage to keep him in League 2, it's like having a cheat code in League 2, really. I think he could have a really good season, so I hope we keep him. Rotherham should have gone and got Smith again, but we'll smash League 1 with Mansfield. Not for me, Callum, but each to their own. I would be interested to know what you think of Steve McLaren's motivation was in taking the job. Well, apparently he's been wanting to be a director of football for a long time. He got on with Tony Stewart, so it's a job he's wanted. Rotherham have offered it him, and he's come and taken it. So yeah, I mean, it's a good thing for him. He's got virtual control of all the footballing affairs. So yeah, I think it's a good fit. And I think he'll do a really good job. I really do. I actually do trust this management team, as crazy as it sounds. I just don't trust the board. I just don't trust Tony Stewart. I don't trust Paul Douglas. But the management team, I'm fully behind them, and I'll support the team the best way we can this season. That's all we can do as supporters. We're at home against West Brom. Oh, yeah, we are. Sorry. My bad. Surely we can do better than Gillingham reject as the goalkeeper try list. What I will say about the goalkeeper try list, I thought his kicking were better than Can's with the ball to his feet. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. I thought his kicking were much better than sort of Can's kicking. But yeah, I agree with you. I think we should be looking at better. But the Manchester United goalkeeper coach recommended him, so he must see something in him. So I trust his judgment on a goalkeeper probably over mine. Agree with that, Bushy. Who would you get that could smash the goals in that size? $1 million question, mate, isn't it? $1 million question. It's what we can afford. I could give you a list of players, but it's whether we could afford them or not. I think Mullin's a good shout, but can we afford him? Can we afford him? That's the thing. We need a leader in midfield to see the games out, but that will probably cost. Yeah. We need 7 permanent signings, 4 to 5 Premier Championship loans to be competitive. And I think we will get them Championship loans and Premier League young players coming in. So that is something that we can look forward to. So I'm going to jump on now to Paul Douglas's interview. So why Rotherham are still paying their release players. Now, this for me is an absolute disgrace of an article from Paul Davis. I keep saying Paul Douglas. Paul Davis, absolute whopper of a journalist, to be honest with you. I mean, every football club is the same for everybody. Yeah. It doesn't mean that you have to put your recruitment on hold to all those players of drop off your wage bill. Are we not taking into consideration we've sold 5,000 season tickets, above 5,000 season tickets at the highest ticket price in League Two? And you're looking at Salford that have sold 500 season tickets, and look at the level of players they're signing. And they would have released players that they're still paying as well from last season. It is utter nonsense. Yeah, we've saved on a pre-season tour. We haven't gone on one. We haven't had half the staff off the season, including physios and everything like that. They've only just been appointed halfway to pre-season. We have sold shirts and merchandise pre-season. We've renewed partnerships for stadium and rights and everything else. We've renewed partnerships with plenty of businesses, and we've sold Nombe for close to £1 million. We got Martha's money from the World Cup, which were unexpected, and now this is the reason why Rotherham are not in the market until these players drop off at the end of July. Your thoughts, Bez, on that? I mean, it's just mind-blowing to me. I can't even believe he has the cheek to put such an article out there.
Yeah, I don't disagree with anything you've said. It is absolutely ridiculous. Every single contract that a player signs that goes to the end of the season, I think is up until the 30th of June, I think it is. And then when you get into the 1st of July, you cost as a free agent. If Rotherham were to buy, let's say Rotherham signed a free transfer on the 20th of June, for the next 10 days, his ex-club still pays wages, and Rotherham don't take over his wages until the 1st of July. It's the same every single season. It's the same for every single club, as Lee rightfully says. I don't know what the reason is for this article out. It's as though he's being asked to put it out by the football club in order to, use it as an excuse as to why we've not brought players in. That's all I can think of. All it's done is make fans more angry, because it does look like they're just trying to use an excuse as to why they're not bringing in players. Because let's face it, I'd love to know what our average wage bill is at the minute. It's got to be really low, because we've only got 12 professionals at the club. We must have the lowest wage. Even if you include the National League, we must have the lowest wage currently, because we've only got 12 professional players. So
not only that, we didn't. How long did it take us to replace Matt Amshaw?
It did, yeah. I mean, to be fair, Steve McLaren's come in to try and combat that sort of issue. And I would hope that if Alex Boots gets sacked tomorrow, I would hope that we'd have another manager in place by 2 weeks later. And that's what Stephen McLaren's job is, to be fair. So he's been brought in to do that. So that issue where it took us 3 months to get a manager in after the last one went, I think that's probably gone now. Well, I hope it's gone anyway, because of Stephen McLaren.
You said that though, Bez. We've got 12 contracted players. We've got Steve McLaren here now, and we're not.
I know, and that's what I'm trying to say there. I think this article is trying to make out that this article is trying to make out that this is the reason why we've not signed the 10 players that we require, because we've been paying wages of footballers who have been released. That's what I think he's trying to say.
But
and he's trying to say
there's only 4 players because Powell went to Salford and he's going to be on more money. So there'll be no thing there. Hugo's at Hartlepool. Zach Jules has gone to Turkey. I think he's probably on more money than he was at Rotherham.
But this article, to be fair, I think it does state on the article that after the 1st of July, anyway, we're not paying these players' wages. I know it sounds weird because it's the 27th of July and the article's only just been released. I think if you read the article fully, I think it does say that Rotherham are playing these wages up until the 30th of June. And that's the reason I've not brought players in. Now, I can't say why I've not brought players in for the last 2 weeks. I don't know. But I think this article is trying to say, this is the reason we're so far behind. This is the reason why we've not brought in players. That's what I think he's trying to say.
Yeah,
what do you think he's trying to say?
Nonsense. I think they're trying to say the same, and I think it's just utter nonsense. They know that every team has the same issue. So other teams have managed to sign players and got enough squad depth now. Yeah. We haven't. So something is amiss there.
I agree.
And Steve McLaren's interview, what he did the other week to, I think it was the Yorkshire Post, that was very worrying, where he's asking the fans to take a leap of faith, businesses come back to try and back the team. That just screams out to me, we are skinned.
It does, yeah, it does. I mean, what I would say is you've probably found that all head of football, director of football, whatever you want to call them, you'll probably find that everyone does that at that time just to try and sell tickets. I don't think it necessarily means anything. End of the day, it doesn't matter how much money a club has got, they still want as many fans through the till for 2 reasons. A, it makes them more money, and B, it generates better atmosphere. Let's face it, Rotherham United have one of the best atmospheres in the Football League when that ground's going because of the way the ground's filled. But the atmosphere in that ground for 3 years has been horrendously poor. So he might be saying it from that point of view. You don't know. I'm not trying to defend it. I'm just trying to say that sometimes you can look at what people are saying and it could have a different argument attached to it as opposed to just a money thing. He didn't say, did he not? He didn't say anything about money. He just said, didn't he, that he wants to try and get fans through the turnstile. He didn't have to say, not like Tony Stewart. He didn't say, if you come through turnstile, we're going to buy a striker, like Tony Stewart said. I think Stephen McLaren's obviously a lot more intelligent than
Tony Stewart delivered it, but he got it the wrong way round. So you bought 5,000 season tickets and he sold his top scorer for the last 2 years for £1 million and didn't bring a striker in. So well done, Tony Stewart. I
think as well. If you went to a fan of another club, right, a random club, I don't know, Burnley, right, and you've said to a Burnley fan, our chairman's come out today, right, and said that the more tickets we buy, the better striker we can have. And then 3 weeks later, we sell our best striker for just under £1 million. I think that Burnley fan would think you're talking loopy. Because, chairman of football clubs are generally well-spoken and they're normally, there's a reason why they're successful. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's very rare that
I'm going to put it out there. I think Tony Stewart's cracked up. I honestly think he has.
What do you think he's mentally not all there? Seriously, it's not taking me.
Yeah, I think he's got issues with
health issues. Yeah, okay.
Health issues. Yeah, too much sauce. You know what I mean? Too much sauce going on.
It is incredible that for him to come out and say that. And the last interview he did, where he was Reddit face and we're waiting on a manager. We didn't get a manager for about 6 weeks. That weren't a great interview either. So he must have been struggling for a while.
Yeah. Get Jordan Henderson free, I think. So yeah, I'm trying to keep up with your comment, guys. We've got over 1,000 people watching on a Monday night for Rotherham United. That's ridiculous numbers. So appreciate everybody. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Even the hater Donny fan who keeps popping up, you can subscribe as well, Sunshine. You know you enjoy watching Rotherham. Tom says McLaren's motivation is he's been everywhere in the game, England to the Champions League. He's getting on now and loves the game and obviously wants something less hands-on.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I don't think this will be less hands-on this role. I mean, I think it's more hands-on, but he is a football purist, McLaren. When you speak to him, he is a football purist. So, yeah. When does Football League payments come in? I'm not sure.
No idea.
Who else is starting to think we might be entering administration soon? Hope not, mate. Johnny Talks might. Don't know what that means.
Yeah, just on the administration thing, as Lee's kind of already said on a previous podcast, I think Rotherham might enter administration the day Tony Stewart kind of leaves because, as Lee said, we're in the same situation now as where we can move. So, Tony Stewart leaves the football club tomorrow. He could say, right, I'm charging you £3 million a month rent, and then Rotherham are stuck again. Now, it could end up like Wednesday, where I got told, I don't know if it's true, but I got told now that Wednesday's football ground, which was owned by Chancery, is now owned by Sheffield Wednesday. Is that right, Lee? Did you know that or not?
I don't know if that's true, mate. I honestly don't know. Lee, do you think we will sell anyone else? Do you think Man United will get Hall and Danny Welbeck and Tuamini? I think they'll get Tuamini. I wouldn't want Danny Welbeck, to be fair. Not for me. 20 contracted players, 7 are 20 and under, and 1 goalkeeper. So that's from Bowers. Yes. When you look at it like that, 20 contracted players and 7 are under 20, that is madness. We aren't signing players because McLaren has made it perfectly clear we're not panic signing and it has to be right for the team.
Just on this comment, this is what I've actually tried to say to try and put a positive spin on it. And I did say it last week as well. The reason why Rotherham could be holding off is because sometimes you can get a player who gets released, right? They get released on the 1st of or 30th of June, sorry. And let's pretend it's Dango. We'll use Dango as an example because it's a good example, right? So Dango gets released on the 30th of June. Rotherham would show interest. He'd have no interest in Rotherham because he's probably got interest from top League One clubs and all Championship clubs, right? If he then gets to, I don't know, the 1st of August and he's still out of contract, he's still not, and all of a sudden he's now not got a lot of interest, he then becomes interested in Rotherham because that, no one else is interested in him. And that's what I'm actually hoping is happening. I'm hoping that when we get into August, the players who weren't interested a month ago or 6 weeks ago, and now they are, and we're going to pick them up. That is my only hope. So that's where I kind of agree with that comment there. What I don't know who said it. Tom said. I mean, it could be wrong, but that's what I am hoping will happen. Do you disagree with that, Lee? I'm only hoping. I'm not saying it will happen. That's what I hope will happen.
That is like believing Tony Stewart when he tells you if you buy a season ticket, you're going to get a better striker.
No.
Right?
But we also got Steve McLaren here, though. Steve McLaren's got a lot more behind him than Tony Stewart.
He has, but so far we've had 7 players on, other than Brandon Williams. Tell me what level are these players that are on trial?
Yeah, they're all low. I know that, yeah.
They're terrible.
But Dan Gold's
that guy looked like
trial at Rotherham.
That guy who was fullback looked like he was running backwards.
I know, but the better players who I've just said who aren't interested now, but they might be in a couple of weeks' time, they're not going to come on trial to Rotherham United, are they? That's the reason why you've got a lot of lower league players on trial.
Okay, we'll see. I respect your positivity, Bez. Yeah. He shouldn't be putting articles like that anyway. It helps no one and can
Agreed.
confuse him.
Completely agreed on it, yeah.
If you release a player and they have not found a new club, the club who released has to pay wages to the 30th of July. It's the same for every club.
I don't think that's right. I think it's the 30th of June, Joe, not 5th of July.
No, it's not. It's not. So in the article, it says, so the 30th of July, if they get fixed up, but if they don't get fixed up and they haven't got a club, you have to pay them to the 30th of July.
Oh, okay.
But if they've got, but also if they have got fixed up, but they're on a lesser wage, Rotherham have to cover the shortfall in wages till the 30th of July.
Really?
So for Joe Powell, say for instance, they reckon he's gone for more money, so we wouldn't be paying any shortfall for Joe Powell. However, Jordan Hugill will be less wages than he was on with us at Hartlepool. So whatever the shortfall is, we still have to pay that till the 30th of July. That's what I read the article as, and that is the rule, because I did double check it and it is correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
But like I said, most of the players got fixed up. I think Zach Jules as well will be on more money to the team. He's gone. Joe Powell will be on more money. I think there's only Jordan Hugill will only be a part payment. Reece James will be having to pay for.
If you go
it's
to
same
Google,
for every club. This is no surprise. This rule hasn't just come out yesterday. They knew all this. They knew all this before. Yeah, we knew it before. So every team has to abide by these rules. It's not just Rotherham United, and it hasn't stopped teams like Salford spending. Hasn't stopped teams like Tranmere signing Tom Ince today. You know what I mean? Let's not fall media spin. If I was Alex Booth, I'd be saying he'd be keeping Denzel Hall as he won't get the money to spend anyway. And that was my argument with Sam Nombe. I would have just kept him because are we going to replace him? I don't think we're replacing him, to be honest. Just see Miller's more comment. I'm not obsessed with you. I just think you're an utter bell end. Okay, we'll leave that one out. Dango had minutes for Man United pre-season. Be interesting to see him in there. Yeah, he's been registered in the first team squad, so good luck to Dango. He deserves it. He gave Rotherham everything, in my view. He was just surrounded by crap. Brandon Williams is a great signing, but he's on trial for a reason, ain't he? He had everything going for him. Looked like he baked the Man U, and now he's without a club. So I'd not stress about signings. No point signing people unreliable. He's not unreliable, Tom. The thing what happened with Brandon Williams is he got kind of shipped out from Man United because he was on I believe it's laughing gas or something. He got spotted on social media doing laughing gas. He ended up getting kicked out. Then he went to Ipswich. I believe he was out.
He just injured.
Yeah, he was, but apparently he was out partying locally in Ipswich as well. He got spotted, and Ipswich didn't see too kindly because he'd been injured at the time. So then Ipswich didn't offer him anything. But the guy's got talent and he's worth a risk, in my view. Lee, do you think Tuamini and Lewis Hall will come? Rodri has gone to Real Madrid. Yeah, I think any player in the right mind goes to Manchester United, it's the biggest club in England. So for me, yeah, I think they can get them if they want them. Hope he plays better than he did at Matlock. He was shocking in that match. He doesn't have potential, but needs to get match fit. That's from Joe Roebuck. I didn't actually watch any of that game, Joe, so I'll take your word for it on the Matlock game. I watched the game against Sheffield United. When he came on, I thought you could see he was head and shoulders technically above a lot of our players on the pitch. His vision and everything. But yeah, like you say, it's one of them, innit? It's a risk. I mean, if he fulfilled his potential, he'd be playing in the Premier League. Obviously, something's gone wrong in his career where he's going to have to take a step back, but maybe he trusts the coaches at Rotherham because they know him. So that may be the pull of McLaren, Agnew, and the goalkeeping coach, what we've got. Maybe that's the pull of him to get such a quality player in. Because if we get them, that's a big statement. That's a big statement signing for League Two for me. Brandon Williams playing in League Two. It's July, paying release players, not June. Yeah, that's what we've said. I just said to Bez. Evening, lads. It's a shambles. We haven't always agreed on topics, but I agree with everything you're saying. We all need reinforcements as soon as possible. Otherwise, I could see Bruce walking. That's from Craig John Longdon. Yeah, like I said, Craig, I mean, obviously I divide opinion on sort of football and stuff like that. And then the thing that frustrates me is that, oh, he's doing it for clicks. Well, I'm not, because, I mean, if you go on my TikTok, you go on the YouTube, all my top views are when I discuss other teams, when I talk about Manchester United or I don't really need to talk about Rotherham. The fact that I do talk about Rotherham is because I love Rotherham and it's my main team. I've supported them all over the country and I love the club. That's the only reason I do this podcast. Bez will tell you, I have no need to do this for clicks. If I do clicks, I could just cut the Rotherham content and I get way more views on the other football content than I do on Rotherham United content. So it's never about the clicks for me on Rotherham content. It's about providing it for you guys, for the fans that watch. And if you don't agree with me, that's absolutely fine. But I allow people to come on here. Anybody is welcome. We're looking for new people. As you can see, there's only 2 of us on tonight. But if you love Rotherham United and you feel like you can talk passionately about it, come on, and we'll have a respectful debate. Even if you disagree with me, I don't just have people on that agree with me. I prefer people that have got a different opinion. The ones that come and abuse me, I'd prefer them to come on and put a face to what they're actually saying. Like, I'm putting my face to what I said, and I've had threats, this, that, and the other. Yeah, and I'm putting myself out there, but I don't care because I don't want to stand by and say I did nothing when this, because when it happened with Ken Booth, I was too young to do anything. But now I'm not. I can have my voice. I've got a platform. I can put fans' voices across, and that's all I've tried to do. But people want to keep trying to abuse me or whatever they want to do. It's never going to work. And like I said, everybody's welcome on this platform. I don't stop anybody from coming on. I've read every single comment out tonight that has come through, whether it's against me or whatever. I read them out. There's nothing to hide from me. I just speak as an honest fan. Do I ever get everything right? Not always, but the majority of the time, I've been right in what I've said. And when people actually come see me face to face, like I've seen a bloke and he started saying stuff, and then he's like, well, I agree with most of what you said, but it's how you say it. But listen, like, you're saying you agree with what I'm saying, so there's no problem. We all support the same football team. We should all want it to be successful. I've been on at the start of the show praising the team's performance. We will be positive when we get positive actions. But at the minute, I think if anybody's saying that Tony Stewart is running this club fairly for the supporters, I think you need taking away with the white coats. I really do. Because I don't think he cares about any one of us supporters. Not one of us. Bez may disagree, but that's my view. And like I said, don't put it onto Bez, because Bez doesn't agree with everything I say. I don't agree with everything Bez says. But we're here having football debate, and it's wonderful. That's why we love football, because we can all have his opinion, and that's it. That's why I set the podcast up. So in my view, it's a success, and it's one of them. Jellis and Spence will be the best midfield in League Two if they stay fit. That is positive. Yeah, totally agree with you. And about right, you've been without a club for a while, mate. Yeah, about right when you've been. Yeah, so I think he's on about Williams. So quickly on, because we're coming to the end of the show. So quickly talk about the next friendly. Bez, are you going? It's a strange one. Is it on a Tuesday night?
Yeah, it's tomorrow, isn't it? And you know what? I might go because it's Darlington away. And I used to love going to Darlington when they were in the Football League, and it's not too far. So I'm undecided at it sits now, but there's a chance that I might go to the Darlington game. Yes, tomorrow.
Fair enough. And do you think we're going to get a win tomorrow, Bez?
I do. I think I do. I think, the performance on Saturday has given a lot of Rotherham fans some positivity. We've all said that goal scoring wise, we do look like we were a bit short. But I think we'll score 1 or 2 tomorrow at Darlington. Because you've got to remember, against Emley and against Matlock, I don't think a lot of the first team players actually played. And I think, Jelly's only played a little bit, and Spence, I don't think really played. So I think you'll probably find a lot of the first teamers play tomorrow, and that'll mean that we win the game.
Fair enough. And just quickly, Sam Nombe, he obviously went for close to what we paid to him with add-ons. Good deal for Rotherham United. This one, Bez?
I think so, yeah. I think, we bought him for just over £1 million. He's only got a year to go. Since he's been at the football club, Rotherham have gone from the Championship to League Two, so it doesn't look great from his point of view. He's not scored a lot of goals. He's scored some goals, but not a lot of goals. I think we've been very lucky, actually, to get, almost 7 figures. I think it's just under £1 million that we're going to get for him, especially with a year to go. So I do think that, I think you'll do well at MK Dons, but I think we've had their pants on a little bit. I did see an article today. In fact, it was a Paul Davis article, and he's never scored 20 goals in a season ever. So to pay £1 million for a striker who's never scored 20 goals in a season,
and we're in League Two as well.
Exactly. I think we've done really well to get that money. He won't score 20 goals for MK Dons. He'll probably get.
I think that's where McLaren's come in as well. Got that.
Sounds like it. Yeah. Sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So fair play.
Do you attend the game against Blades? If so, do you agree that Osama Ashley seems quite a decent number 6? I didn't go to the game. I watched the full game though on my projector screen at home, and I think he's a decent older midfielder. To be fair, I was impressed with him. Yeah. Bez likes him, I know that.
I think a lot actually. I mean, including yourself, Lee, have said about Jellis and Spence. Obviously, we're going to play 3 midfielders, and it's going to be Jellis, Spence, and that Ashley. And I thought all 3 looked good on Saturday.
Yeah, so, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised because obviously Bez were very positive about the Jellis signing. I wasn't so much, but I'd not really I've not really seen him play. I hadn't watched much League Two games.
I did say to you, because your what you said about what you want Rotherham to do in a transfer recruitment point of view, you want us to go out and sign every of the league's best players. So Walsall's best player was Jellis, and we've done that. And that's what I was trying to say to you. So do you see that now or not, or still unsure?
No, I mean, from watching him, I think he hit the crossbar with a shot.
Twice.
Yeah, he looked really good. So, yeah, I am impressed with Jellis. Looks really good. Bowen says, Ashley didn't win one challenge. So you're not happy with that signing, Bowers 33?
133, yeah.
You're not happy with the Ashley signing? I thought he's all right. The midfield 3 seems the strongest link in our squad to me, at least against the Blades. He had a good shot at goal too. Yeah, I agree with you, Wazza. I think, like I said, I think he looks a really good player. And it shows how much we missed Spence last season when he got injured. Because I think he did look really solid when he come on. And them 2 in that midfield. And I did read an article from someone, I think it was another content creator, about Ashley saying he will be the best holding midfielder in League Two. So I don't know much about him. I thought he played all right on the game, but
he needs to keep fit.
I don't want to lie and say I know loads about him, because I don't. And same with Jellis. But I thought Jellis really stood out on sort of Saturday.
The thing with Ashley is that he's injury prone, unfortunately. I think he's played 20 games in the last 3 seasons, so 60 games in 3 seasons, which is not a lot. So yeah, he needs to remain fit, and that's his only
He's a
concern.
good age as well, so
He is, yeah.
I think it's a. I was pleasantly surprised. Like I said, Sheffield United game surprised me. I don't know if I'd built myself down to as playing absolutely terrible, but I did think Ashley made several defensive decisions, especially on corners, that stopped us from losing by many more goals. So I disagree with your view that he didn't make one engagement. Yeah, I agree with you, Wazza. But like I said, football's about opinions. I got a massive, strong opinion on Ashley. That's the first time I'd seen him. And it's hard to judge because obviously there's quite a big difference in level between Championship and League Two. So I thought he did well. Don't know if he's fit, but he was miles off it. Jealous was very good. Yeah, agree with you, Bowen. I do think Jealous was very good. But I didn't think Ashley looked miles off it, to be honest. But that's your opinion. But yeah, it's a difficult opener. I mean, Sheffield United have got some decent players in that area of the pitch. So obviously, the quality level, he ain't going to be up to the quality of Sheffield United's players. And yet, Jelly seems very exciting. Totally agree with you. I think he shining light, and he actually, I'm going to be honest with you, it cheered me up because I've been feeling so depressed with what's going on at the club. But it did cheer me up that I thought we were better than I expected we would be with what's going on at the football club. Lee, do you think Tuanamini will sign for Man United? Yeah, I think he probably will. But it looks like they're getting Kone, so they may not. It looks like Kone may be coming to United as well. I really hope for a solid top half finish, and that's Wazza. Yeah, I mean, my expectations will never waver. I think we should be top two, and if we're not, then there should be questions asked, should I say. That's my prediction. But obviously, with what's happening at the club, it's going to put expectations down. And I think that's what Bez were talking about earlier. He's worried that people's expectation is that we're just happy with a mid-table finish, and we can't be saying that in League Two, surely. But that's it. That's the end of the show. I mean, I want to thank everybody in the comments. We were up to 1,000 views at one bit. So, yeah, fantastic viewing numbers again. And thank you, everybody. Thank you to everybody in the comments. I saw a lot of new people in there tonight that I haven't seen before as well. So, like I said, come on. If you want to become part of KB Terrace Talk as well, we are looking for new people to enter our Monday and potentially Wednesday night show, Thursday night show. We may be changing that up a little bit. We will be doing watch-alongs for Rotherham United as well. And yeah, so if people are thinking they want to be a part of that, send us a direct message on the socials and we will get back to you. You can contact me directly or you can contact Dave Besley directly, and he'll put you in contact with us. We'll get you on. If you just wanted to come on the odd time, we usually put out a code for the live one so you can come on after match and whatnot and give your views. But thank you to everybody chilling in. It's been much appreciated. And yeah, it's not long now. Bez, if he goes to the game, we'll be doing an after-match reaction if he goes to the friendly game. So watch out for that on the socials. Anything you'd like to say, Bez, before we chop out?
No, just a good show, like you said, Lee. Thanks, everyone. And yeah, up those Millers.
I'll just quickly do this comment because it is quite a good comment from Wazza. Which side do you view as being able to finish above us if we are to be second? I would say with the signings they've made, possibly Salford, and I also think Port Vale have made some good signings, so I think Port Vale will potentially be up there as well. That's my view. What about Bez? What do you think, mate?
Yeah, I was going to say Salford as well, but if I'll say someone different. I was going to suggest York until they've lost their manager. It depends who York get in. I've seen some good rumours.
They've got him. They've got him. They've appointed him today.
Oh, is it that? I forgot his name. I do know it is. I forgot his name. I forgot his name.
What
Anyway,
it was called.
I think York will be up there still. Chesterfield will be up there, but I don't think they'll be with Rotherham. And I agree with Kaylee. I do think Bristol Rovers up there with Steve Evans.
Yeah, Steve Evans, Bristol Rovers. They've made some good. I think Richie Smallwood signed there as well, hasn't
he? He has.
They'll be interesting to watch. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, up the Millers. Take care, guys.
Up the Millers.